Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode. I think it's 18, maybe 19. I don't know because I'm not at my computer right now. But so I'm in the living room here, just because my brother's playing Tom Clancy something. So didn't want to bother him, but I just want to tell a story, and you guys will be seeing some footage from my laser miner. I moved up to above 128 because apparently it works better above Y128. So just want to talk about something that I did at work. So I'm in training at work right now, and yesterday was my second day of training. And what we did on our second day was we went out onto the floor. As I said before, I work at a call center. So we went out onto the floor where all the cubicles are with all the people with the headphones and stuff like that. And we kind of just sat down with some person, just randomly sat down with a person and just kind of watched them for 5 hours. So I'm just going to tell a little bit about what happened. I won't talk about the customers that called in specifically because I don't really know. I couldn't really hear very well most of it, and it's confidential information for the most part. But try to give you guys something to listen to while you watch me build this stupid thing, UFO thing, spaceship, whatever. So we get there. I always get there early because I always leave around 4 and I start at 5, so I get there at like 4:30 or maybe a little bit earlier than that. So I just kind of sit in the car and listen to music, or like check my emails or something like that. So then I go inside. I was the first person there from my group, so I just went to the receptionist. I was like, "I'm here for training." She was like, "Take a seat." So I went, sat down, and I was just sitting there for a while, maybe like 10-15 minutes. Everyone ended up showing up. We signed in, and then one of the guys came out and just kind of said, "Follow me." And so we all kind of went in. We ended up working in what they call the Big South Department, which is basically Georgia, South Carolina, some Florida. So, and this is all Comcast. So I'm sure you've heard of Comcast, unless you're overseas. Comcast is a giant, I guess, telemedia. So they do television, phone, internet, that kind of stuff. And the company I work for is basically, when you call Comcast, if you didn't pay your bill and your service has been disconnected or is close to being disconnected, they will forward you to us, and then we will deal with it. So let's say you owe, I don't know, $1,000. You didn't pay your bill for like 10 months, right? And then all of a sudden you get home to watch, I don't know, what do you want to watch? You're in Georgia, what do you watch? Okay, you get home, you want to watch like NCIS on, is it on CBS? It's on something. So let's say you get home, you want to watch Family Guy on Fox or whatever. I don't know. Is Family Guy still on? So you get home, you come home, you're like, okay, you go to the fridge, you grab a beer, you sit down on the couch, turn on the TV, and all of a sudden you just see black screen with a blue box that says, Comcast has disconnected your service. Call this number to get it reconnected, right? Well, I mean, you didn't pay for 10 months, so a little, probably should have. So you pick up the phone. I don't know if the phone actually still works. I don't know how like that kind of stuff works. I don't pay bills or anything like that. I'm not an adult. But so you pick up the phone. Let me grab a phone here so I can imagine. So you pick up the phone. You're like, "Oh, hello, beep beep beep," and you go, blah blah blah. And then on the other end of the phone, you call our center. I pick up the phone. Well, not really. I have like a headset, but pick up the phone. I'm like, "Hello, this is George speaking on behalf of Comcast. how may I assist you today? And then they're like, my cable bill shut off. I can't watch my TV. I need to watch NCIS. And then I'm like, okay, sir, can I have the phone number on your account? And then he's like, give me a second here. It's 555 555 5555. Thank you, sir. Hold on a moment. And then you just kind of like help them out if they want to pay or if they want to yell at you for an hour. You're just gonna, that kind of stuff. But so they put me with this guy. Let's call him George, because I already said the name George. I'm pretty sure his name's not George, and his name on the phone isn't George. They make you pick an alias. So I won't tell you what his real name or his alias is, but let's call him George, because that's neither of them. So I'm sitting there. His supervisor guy was like, take a seat, and he gave me a headset. I couldn't plug it in, but he gave me a headset. So I'm sitting there with my headset and my little notepad so I can write down anything. So I'm just sitting there watching this guy work, doing his little job. Yeah, he's just like working, typing up his things. He's doing his little, give me the number associated with your account, blah, blah, blah. And then someone's like, how would you like to pay with that? Visa, MasterCard, Discover, American Express. And then you just kind of like, that kind of stuff. And every once in a while he would. So in the beginning, I was just sitting there, and he finished a call, and he like leaned back, and then he saw me, and he was like, whoa, I didn't know you were behind me. Because he's just like doing his job. He's not paying attention. And he's not paying attention to me. He's paying attention to his job. He's being a good employee. And I hope this sounds fine. I don't know how this works, but so just sitting there, basically watching him do what he does. It's pretty simple. You just kind of like, you have a program, you just click next call, and it's like inbound, and then you just say, hello, thank you for calling. This is George on behalf of Comcast, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. Oh, look at this. I'm joking. I can't actually see what you're seeing, so I'm just messing around. So, every once in a while he'll stop and be like, oh, so this is where we enter the payment information here. Make sure you don't click this. Make sure you click this. You got to do it in this order. Just kind of like training stuff, right? And then, I'm there for training. It was 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. No, to 10 p.m. So, we're just sitting there. I eventually got myself a splitter, so I was able to kind of listen along with him. And if I wanted to, I guess I could have talked because the microphone works, but I didn't, because that'd be kind of weird. If you call up Comcast and there's like two people on the line at the same time, it'd be, well, three, I guess. It'd be kind of weird. But so I just listened. He got yelled at a couple times. People, when they come home, they want to try. They've got to watch NCIS. They're like, they get pretty angry sometimes. I mean, geez, NCIS is an okay show, but like, really? Or what else do people want to watch? I don't know what's on TV. I'm sorry. What they got on TV? General Hospital. No, that's like 3 p.m., isn't it? Dr. Phil, is that like on TV? Yeah. No, that's not before 5. What is on TV? What is on? They got CSI still? Yeah, so they're in I don't know, Atlanta. They pick you pick up the phone, you're like, "Hello, can I have the phone number?" And they're like, "Yes, it's 256. That's all I know. I don't know the rest of the number." And you're like, "Okay, is can I have the account number? It should be on your bill." And then they're like, "Yep, got it right here. It's 72, 75, 73, 72, and then you're like, "Thank you, sir. Give me a moment." And then you type in the number and you get their account up, and then you see like, oh, okay, their account's deactivated. They obviously are not watching NCIS. And oh, I'm sorry, CSI. And then you can see how much they owe, and then you say, Okay, thank you, sir. Can I have can I have your name? Who are you? Blah blah blah. Make sure it's you don't want to have people calling in for the wrong person, right? They call up, they're like, "Here's my account number," and they're like, "No, this is a woman." You're like, "Oh, give me a second. It was 76. Is that correct?" And you're like, "Yeah." Um, so you verify all this information, blah blah blah, and you're like, "Okay, sir, I see you have a balance of $376.23. How would you like to pay that today?" And then they're like, "I want to pay by check." And then you have to make sure that they, they've never had a bad check before and all this kind of other stuff. And it's actually, it's not too tricky, but it looks like, it's like, how do I explain it? It's like if you went to like NASA and I'm like touching things, so you can probably hear that. Touching like wires and stuff. Okay, calm yourself down. Um, Put on some NCIS or CSI or whatever. I don't know. Uh, what is on TV? Let me check while I'm telling this story. I hope this is still recording. Let's see. Oh, getting static. I can't type. I'm sorry. Calm. Nope. Okay. Sorry. I can hear stuff in the background. Now I totally lost my train of thought. Yeah, so it's like if you went down to NASA and you're sitting at the computer and you're like, what the hell is all this stuff on the screen, right? But if you're someone that works at NASA, one, you're probably pretty smart already, but you also, like, know what this stuff is because that's your job. Like, you should know what most of it does. That's kind of how it works. It's like you have like 30 screens open, but like this one is obviously email, and this one is for entering information, this one's payment stuff, and this one is like retrieving bills and all this. Like it's like it looks confusing, but once you kind of figure it out, it's all there. The hardest part is just like, dealing with the people on the phone, really. I guess I haven't done it, so I don't know, but yeah. So I was just sitting there. I'm already halfway through this episode. Oh, geez. Just sitting there listening to this guy talk to these people, and, then he's like, here's some tips. I've been here like a month or so I'm pretty new to this as well. Blah, blah, blah. He's got his little notepad with all his stuff, and then it's hard to explain without saying too much, because I don't really know what I'm allowed to say and what not to say, but sorry. Excuse me? I like this seat, though, where I am in the living room. I can see, like, I have, like, the sun coming in. I can see through the house to the living room. And I can see all this nice trees outside. It looks a pretty nice day today. Yesterday it was a thunderstorm, but today is, let's see, I have my Pebble watch on. Today is the 6th of August. Well, I mean, it's not actually. Today, I mean, it is for me. For you, it's probably, I don't know, the 16th, maybe. I actually don't know. I will have to look that up. But, yeah, so then, the guy never took a break while we were sitting there, but he just kind of kept on working. We were talking a little bit, kept on working, that kind of stuff. Then they took my splitter away after like half an hour, so I just got to sit there and watch. But here's the best part of the night. So we're sitting there, and as I said, everyone gets a fake name. We're calling this guy George, but he has his own name, and you get your email address with your fake name. So if your name's like George Smith, you'll get like George Smith at companyname.com, right? But this guy, so you just choose a random name. So I chose a random name, just like, you just kind of go, okay, who's that guy in NCIS? His name Gary? Yeah, okay, Gary's a good name. So you put down Gary, and then you're like, what's a good last name? Let me think. I'm trying to think of a name right now. I don't even know. Webster. Gary Webster. Okay, that's my name. And then you write it down on a piece of paper and then you send it in. And then I guess they check it and they tell you whether or not that's a good name. And then they give you the email address. But, so his name, he's got his name. And we were talking. And so I asked him what his full name was, like his fake name. Because he was getting emails and stuff. His name was, he's got his alias. I mean, his alias, his last name for his alias was Kangaroo. Well, it is Kangaroo. He's still there. Kangaroo. Just imagine, you go to the DMV, and you're like, next, and then, you give them your driver's license. You're like, yeah, I need to renew my driver's license. And they look down, and your name is like, what did I say, George? Your name is George Kangaroo. You'd probably be like, what? And, sometimes the customer calls, and they're like, you know what? I'm going to talk to your manager. Give me your full name. I'm sorry for everyone's in the South, but it's Georgia, so some people have an accent. So then you're like, yes, my name is George Kangaroo, like the animal. And then they write it down. They're like, Kangaroo? How you get a name like that? And you're like, oh, well, he said, he got the name because he said he's from Australia. So, it's just like a... Did you hear that? Someone was walking. No, he's from Australia. So, where was I? So, yeah, so this guy's name is Kangaroo. I hope this isn't too loud. I'm going to have to re-record it, I know. So this guy's name, his last name is Kangaroo, and for the rest of the time, it was like 3 more hours. I was just sitting there like giggling to myself, like his name is like I just chose like a normal like. Basically, what I did was I chose like I was like, okay, who am I friends with in high school, right? Who was I friends with in high school, and then you just pick like one first name from one, last name from the other, and you write them down together, and that's a name. Look at that, perfect, right? So. That's kind of, that's what I did. Okay. Yeah, so that's what I did. I just kind of chose a random, I keep hitting this mirror here, but, yeah, I just chose a random name, and then hopefully they approve it, and then I'll be that guy. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to tell people my name, so I won't, but you know who you are. Well, I know who I am. But, yeah, so his name is Kangaroo, which was just hilarious. And then we were talking about, he was saying that he chose that name because, I don't know, he wanted to choose a funny name, so he chose it. But he said he actually had been to Australia. I've never been to Australia, but I'd probably go. I'm not against traveling at all. Sorry. Yeah, I'm not against that. But it was funny because I was at the dentist and they had a magazine with the crocodile hunter on it, Steve Irwin, and I was like, man, it's like Australia Week over here. But no, I think it's like the anniversary of his death. He was a good man, good conservationist. He was a good guy. But yes, it definitely was a sad time for him because he was a good person. But what is this? Oh, that's a GIF. Yes, okay. I have my desktop here. My laptop, but it's on my desktop, right? So yeah, so then, after this guy, it was like 9:00. He went home, so then I'm just kind of like, they were like, hey, you have to go to the other side of the building because he left. So I get up, grab my headset, and I head over to the other side of the building. And they were like, look for someone with, that's a manager or a supervisor or whatever they call it. And so we go to the other side, me and this other trainee guy. And we're looking around. Everyone's like clocking out. We're looking around. And we see this guy, we see this guy with I think he was a supervisor in training, maybe, or something like that. I don't know what they call him. But either way, we got him. We were like, hey, we're here to sit behind people and listen to them talk on the phone all day. And he was like, okay. And so he was trying to find them. And he found it for one guy, and then for me, he just couldn't find anyone. So he was like, how about you go talk to this guy over there in the, and this guy's got a nice office. Instead of having a cubicle, he has a cubicle, but it's glass. It's pretty good. So he sends me over to this guy, and I go over to the guy, and I'm like, yeah, I'm here to sit behind people and listen to them talk on the phone. And he's like, okay, no worries. And it's just Leonardo DiCaprio. It was just him, but with glasses on. And I was like, well, okay, this is, I bet his fake name is Leo. I like a bird. Yeah, so Leonardo DiCaprio and I, we go looking for someone to sit. So we're just kind of like, it's a cubicle room, so we're just going through a maze. It's like Pac-Man, basically. I'm like the ghost. He's just like, wah, wah, wah. Or was it like, wada, 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 wada. And then I'm just like behind him like, whoop, 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 whoop. I don't know what Pac-Man noises are, but yeah. So I'm just following him around, and then he puts me behind this guy who was much faster than the guy I was behind before, but he didn't stop and talk to me. So he just kind of like continued his job. Yeah, but he was in a different section of the company, so he was doing Chicago stuff. So everyone that was calling in was from Chicago, Indiana, that kind of area. I don't know, maybe Ohio, I don't know. But yeah, and then I just kind of sat there, listened to him do it. There was a guy next to him that was talking to me, showing me some of the stuff while he was working. But I guess it was good. It was it definitely, when I left, it was, I left and I was like, I could totally do this. You know, I could easily do this job, I think. Yeah, I could do it for the most part. Like, yeah, no one, there was no calls where people were like yelling and cursing, them out. So that's good. That makes it easier. But it does happen, so you gotta be ready for it. I wonder what I'm doing in this video. I should have watched the video and then done it, or watched and did it at the same time, but yeah. So now there's like 10 minutes left of audio that I need to fill with stuff. I don't think I have any more story. I went to the dentist, but it was pretty uneventful. I just drove there and then I sat and waited and then I went inside and that was kind of it. Nothing special. Let's see what else happened. I almost missed my exit twice coming home yesterday and the day before. But that's only because, like, I go to work and I work at 5. So everyone is like leaving work at 5. And the highway is always packed. Luckily, on the way to work, I don't have to switch lanes. I just get on the highway and I stay in that lane and then I get off the next exit. It's pretty simple. It takes like 5 minutes. But there's traffic, so it takes longer sometimes. I wish I could mute my mic for those, but I'll probably just edit it out. So if you see a random cut, it's probably because I sneezed. Yeah, so I just stay on the highway. It's like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. But when I'm coming home, I have to get on the highway and then go 2 exits, because for some reason it's 2 exits back. I don't know why. Whatever. But every time I get to the exit, I have to take exit 5. Every time I get to exit 5, it's like exit 6, and I'm like, okay, my exit is the next one. Let me start getting over to the lane, right? And so I get in the middle lane, and I'm like on my way to the exit, and then I see the exit, and as soon as I'm ready to switch into the right lane, there's like 3 trucks surrounding me. I'm like surrounded by trucks, and I'm like, well, great. And so I end up having to like basically just sit there until the trucks move, and then I can switch in. But on Monday, which was 2 days ago, yes, on the 4th, the 4th, I think, on August 4th, I was driving, and the trucks, there was like 10 trucks. So I was like, well, guess who just missed the exit? And so I just kind of, I don't know, took exit 4, and then I turned around, came back, took exit 5. No, yes. Then yesterday, I made it just in time. I just kind of slowed down to like 45 miles per hour, which is about, 75, 70 maybe kilometers per hour, if you need to know. Just in case. I'm just making that up. I actually don't know. It's something like that. 50 miles an hour is 80 kilometers. So 45 is probably like 70, maybe 72 or 73. I don't know. We don't use that in the U.S. But maybe down in Georgia. No, they don't. That would just not even make any sense. In Canada, they do. But yeah, so I just slowed down and then like waited for everyone to pass, and then I just switched lanes. But yeah, so I didn't miss it. But then of course it was like a thunderstorm, so everyone was going slow anyway. Because thunderstorms. Apparently there's going to be a thunderstorm tonight, but you'll already know that by the time this video goes up because it's like 10 days from now. So that's, it's like you can see into the future, except that the future is then the past, because now is the past, which means that now that you just heard this, everything I've said is in the past. Which to me is the future, because I haven't said it yet. Boom. Yeah. Because, tomorrow is just your future yesterday. Yep. I do like me some Craig Ferguson on CBS. He's pretty good. But that's only at like 2 in the morning, so. But, yeah. I gotta watch my Craig Ferguson on CBS. Or, no, maybe people in Georgia like to watch David Letterman. I don't know. Who else is there? There's the guy with the red hair. And then there's the 2 Jimmys. Or is one of them James? I don't know. I gotta watch more TV, I guess. But, yeah. Let's see. So, in the next episode, we'll probably not finish For the Hoarding, but hand in some quests for that. What else are we gonna do? It's so weird because I can't look at the video and see what I'm doing, so I don't know what footage is what. You're probably not even watching it sped up because I've spent so much time talking. I think that's, yeah. And we're gonna start our next tree. Next, I don't know, mod tree. So you're gonna find out if I chose bees or Thaumcraft. So we'll see. Or I guess it's bees, trees, or Thaumcraft blood magic. You're gonna see which one I choose. But based on what so the people that have been telling me this kind of stuff, what have been telling me their votes, haven't commented because they're telling me in real life. So you won't see the votes for the most part unless you voted. In which case, I hope you your vote goes and you win. But yeah, you'll see which one I've decided to do in the next episode. I don't know anything about bees, trees, Thaumcraft, or blood magic, so it's all going to be new, and it's basically going to be, you're going to see more of the wiki page than of me playing, probably. Well, I'm going to see more of the wiki page than me playing. It's probably going to be 3 hours of wiki page, and then 30 minutes of filming the episode, where I do one thing, and then that's it. Because I've never done any of this before. It's all new to me. It's all new to me, sir. Don't know. Don't know what that was. So now it's been 30 minutes, maybe 28. I don't know. It depends if I edit this audio or not. But so I guess that's all I gotta say. I'll probably edit the video if this is too short or too long. But thank you guys for watching this video and listening to my voiceover of my day at work. To order the next episode now. Anytime I think about voiceovers, I think of audiobooks. But not that I listen. I've never listened to an audiobook, I don't think. Not like on an iPod, on like cassette tape back in the day. Because my car has a cassette tape player. But that was before I could drive anyway. But yes, thank you guys for watching and listening to my story about Mr. Kangaroo and Comcast, of course. Make sure to tune into NCIS on whatever channel it's on, and CSI and Craig Ferguson and David Letterman and the guy with the red hair and the Jimmies. What else is there? Oh my god. No. Thank you guys for listening. As you can probably tell, this is a voiceover. If I mentioned it a couple times, only a couple though. Don't forget you can pick up this mod pack on the Feed the Beast launcher in the description. This version, I think it's version 3.11 of the Agrarian Skies, but there should be a new version, a new update coming out because I saw it on the launcher. But thank you guys for watching, and I think this was episode 19. But if it wasn't, in episode 19 we'll go over whether or not I'm going to do bees. Well, I guess it's like natural or magic. That's kind of how it works. So you'll see which one won. But again, for the third time, thank you guys for watching Agrarian Skies, and I'll see you next time. Bye!